Okay, take 3. Tom Siegfried's talk, The Dice of Life, How Probability Rules the Universe, Society, and Science. If you've come this far, there are a couple of things that are a little deeper that are still bothering me. Let's accept for the moment that Gould and John Barrow and Hawking are correct, that we couldn't ever have predicted, even in principle, the actual development of life and the universe. If it can't be predicted, it can't. Heads. Okay, take 3. Tom Siegfried's talk, The Dice of Life, How Probability Rules the Universe, Society, and Science. We've come this far. There are just a couple of other things that are still bothering me. Let's accept for the moment that Gould, Barrow, and Hawking are correct, that we couldn't ever have predicted, even in principle, the actual development of life and the universe as we find it today. It can't be predicted because it isn't strictly determined. Run the tape back, run it forward, you get a different outcome. Chance is real, not just an appearance as Newton and Galileo and even Einstein had imagined. Okay, so if we can't possibly predict the outcome, then given that we have an outcome, I mean this universe, this biosphere, there's no way to explain that outcome. How this world came to be as we find it, I mean on the basis of the same science that couldn't possibly predict it. So whatever the outcome was, you can't predict it, you can't explain what actually did happen. Very simply, if you can't predict what's going to happen, then after something has happened, then you can't explain how it happened, I mean on the same grounds that you were unable to predict it. Okay? As Brian Greene again says in his book, Fabric of the Cosmos, science is now in the worst imaginable position that it could be in, since if science is to be judged by its ability to predict, the situation now is that we can't predict anything. All right, let's go a little deeper. Science no longer has a way to make sense of the fact that we are successful at predicting some of the time and not successful at other times. So Greene say we can't predict, but we do predict. We predict successfully sometimes we don't. But our science now says that we can't account for predicting, and we can't, particularly these overall systems, we can't predict. So how is it that we're successful some of the time and not successful some of the time? So the question is, do we have a theory that allows us to do that? Answer, no. So now everyone is looking for a post-scientific understanding of the universe and our place in it, one that can account for both our successes and our failures. Hawking's colleague Jim Hartle points out that it isn't that we can't say anything about how the universe evolves, about the outcome. Certainly how we got here today isn't completely determined, but it isn't completely undetermined. It's more like underdetermined. Okay? Here's an image. Consider a soccer game. It has rules, and the rules remain fixed over time. Time-invariant rules, laws. Okay? And these rules that define the game, don't determine the play, the flow of the game. The flow of the game is a story, a narrative. You can't make sense of the flow of the narrative of the game simply on the basis of the rules of the game. The flow can't be understood simply in terms of the rules. Here's the kicker. In terms of rules alone, the flow of the game will appear to be partially chance governed. So you know the rules, but other stuff's going on. They're not obeying. The rules don't define everything that's going on. So that whatever else is going on in terms of the rules looks chance governed. It doesn't make any sense. Isaac Newton actually thought that discovering the mathematical laws of mechanics was far less interesting than coming to an understanding of the story of the universe and our role in it. Maybe these are clues to the post-scientific understanding of the universe and our place in it. Where's my coin? Could be. Heads again.